Our video's rolling. It's going to get your dad up there. That's cool that we flew by. We didn't see any horses out at the moment, but they could be in the trees and see us. But we'll go by where your mom and your sister are during the flight.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm going to tell the guy in the tower what we're doing.
Okay.
Dillingham Unicom, Paradise 1 from the hangars to Mauka Side Glider Port. Mauka is the Hawaiian word for mountainside. So all I did is I just said that we're going over to the mountainside of the glider port.
Awesome.
And I don't know if you guys want to try another cool activity. This is better, but they have a glider over there that will hold a pilot and 2 other people. And the winds are about to pick up, and when they do, you can soar up there on the wind. It's, again, not bird-like because you're not moving the wing directly. It's, it's airplane-like but non-powered. And it's really, really cool, but a hang glider is more bird-like. So if you were to fly a hang glider up here, it's so bird-like because you're moving the wing directly. It feels like it's attached to your brain and your body like a surfboard does to a surfer or a snowboard does to a snowboarder. So I don't like gliders or airplanes for that disconnect, but it's still a cool experience to go fly in one, all right? But for the bird-like flying, I like being directly connected to the wing. Now, we always look for traffic, even in your guys' aircraft before you take the runway, so we look both ways, but we have an advantage. I think your dad was kind of impressed with this. I can raise the wing up. Look at the sky. So I look over there, I go, better view of the sky than you get in an airplane, that's for sure. You guys have a low wing, so you get a pretty good view above you, but you don't get a great view below you. The sides on an aircraft are absolutely pointless for safety unless you're in the military. They're going to be a thin sheet of aluminum. So we don't want them. This is going to ruin our view, but more importantly, it'll make it where we have blind spots. So it's nice to not have that.
That is nice.
Yeah. So you know where to hold on, not the wing at this point, but we'll get you on the wing in a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Dillingham Unicom, Paradise 1. We're going to back taxi, and we'll be westbound after liftoff.
Roger that, wind 070 at 15.
Alrighty, cool. So our runway faces 080. The wind is already 070. That's a 10-degree crosswind. That's not real bad for any aircraft. But we don't have a rudder. A rudder is how you fight getting pushed sideways. So you will see definitely when I land, I'm going to land in one of these fields going into the wind because I don't have a rudder. That's one thing that your aircraft has that I don't have. And I don't miss it, but I have to fly differently on the takeoff and the landing. Like right now, the wind is starting to come off the water. That's where it switches from the cold air coming off the land. It's now the wind coming off caused by the spinning of the earth. So you can see I'm angling across the runway a little bit. Take a look at the camera right there. When you do that, you're blocking your face and you're shaking it, and it's a still camera. A lot of people do that, but it's better to just give a shocker or a peace sign or whatever, but don't block your face. And the video's over here. Here, a lot of people want to shake their hand. That's the camera to do that for. You might want to wave at your dad when we go by the tower, too.
Okay.
All right. Paradise 1 on the roll. I'm going to set a little timer to make sure that we come back late. I get enough air flowing over the wing. I'm holding this on the ground by pulling in. When I get near your dad, I just push the bar out, and up we go.
Whoa.
So I'm watching the water change texture all morning long, and I'm only going to do one more flight. You'll see why here in a moment, but it starts out real glassy in the morning because it's just a light, cold air draining off the volcano. But about 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, the wind gets more off the water, and that's what's happening more and more. But it looks like I might be able to get this next girl flown. When we get up higher, we'll probably see a darker line right out there. That's where it's windier.
Oh, wow, yeah.
It gets a little smoother in the air when it's coming off the water than when it's coming off the land, but it makes the landing really hard because the wind is hitting trees and buildings and tumbling onto the runway. Try this. Put your left hand right here.
Sure.
Put your right hand right here, and I'll do all the work. You're not going to be doing anything important. We just have a nice grip and then just feel what I do. We don't bother to pull in or out very often. So it's kind of a long reach from the back seat. And I can tell you that your dad and you already would belong in the front seat. I do introductory flight lessons here because it's really hard for me to fly safely in the back seat when I can still fly safely in the front seat because of the leverage I have on the wing, okay? So I couldn't do an advanced flight right now. You belong in the front seat if you were going to get your license because you're relaxed in the air, because you've been up with your dad and you don't have a bunch of ideas that people have about how dangerous the sky is, you know that it perhaps is the safest place around.
Yeah.
I think it is because down there you got a lot of stupid people. Up here you don't.
Yeah.
All right, give me a smile at the camera. Nice. And how do you like my office window?
Very cool.
So as pilot jobs go, the reason why I like this so much is many reasons, but one is it's very lucrative. I love doing something I love that pays really well. I would
Yeah.
not do something I don't like because it paid really well, though. The money can't be the number one thing. But I've been lucky that when I was relying on my professional skydiving camera work, I was getting paid to be a professional skydiver, and I loved it. And I got paid really, really well for it. Now I
Yeah.
get paid really, really well to be a pilot because nobody knows how to fly these things. I don't have a competitor on the island. The closest person that knows how to fly these is 3 islands away, my friend on Maui.
Oh.
And we're friends. He was my inspiration for starting this.
Oh, nice.
But I have other friends that teach surfing on Oahu, and that sounds like, oh, that'd be cool. Well, that's really stupid. There's 400 companies teaching surfing, so you don't get paid well when there's 400 competitors.
That's true.
All right. So the one point I'd like to make for you is I love flying, but that doesn't mean I would go fly an airplane for United. To me,
Yeah.
that's like being an aerial bus driver, and I wouldn't want to do it. And I don't think they get paid quite what they should. okay?
Yeah.
So if you do like the sky, find something in the sky that you really like, and then try to find something that nobody knows how to do. And you could copy what I'm doing.
Yeah.
There is places all over the world that need this activity, and I'm going to open a few companies in the next couple of years where I'll need pilots as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right, so give me a smile. Yep. And then hold on to the bar. Don't kind of pretend to hold on. I don't need a death grip, but I want you to kind of feel everything that goes on with it. Now, you might not even be old enough. Are you driving yet?
No.
All right, cool. I don't know if you knew it, but you can get your pilot's license before you can get your driver's license.
Yeah.
And in a glider, I think it's only like 14 and a half years old, maybe.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
almost 14 and a half.
Yeah, I think you can get your license in a glider. And I was telling your dad, I think to get a real pilot's license for an airplane, you should absolutely be required to get your pilot's license in a glider, because if your engine ever breaks and you've flown gliders, you go, oh, big deal, I got gravity.
Yeah.
Gravity will bring me down, all right?
That's cool.
Now, I don't know if we'll see any because the water's starting to get choppy, but if you see any whales breathing, let me know.
Okay.
Now, take a break for a second, let go of the controls, and then find your little volume control on your headset, and just turn it so that there's not a lot of wind noise. Maybe it's already good, but just make sure you can hear me, and you can hear the engine maybe, but you don't hear a lot of obnoxious wind noise.
Okay, I think that's good.
All right, cool. Now, before you get your hands on the controls, I want to show you that even if I'm not holding on, the aircraft will not flip over, and when you get a hang glider in a turn, it's so bird-like that the sail will shift on the framework, and it'll stay in the turn. So you don't need any muscle to keep in a turn if the air is smooth.
Oh, yeah.
Mother Nature might knock me out of the turn, and then I'd have to move our weight back to that side. But once I get our weight on the left, it rolls the nose like that. That's the
Yeah.
axis from nose to tail. Did the same thing in the aircraft that you guys would fly.
Each number's 5 minutes.
From nose to tail is roll, and that's what we do most of the time is roll. Like I'm going to push our weight away from the left and pull it towards the right. And if I have this bar level with the horizon, then my wing is level because this is parallel with the wing.
Ah, okay.
And then to stay out of the military restricted area, I'm going to pull our weight to the right.
Awesome.
And that's the steering, but it's way easier in the front seat. So just take a break from it for a little while, but I want you to understand what I'm doing. 99% of what we do with the wing is roll, just side to side.
Yeah.
In airplanes, a lot of times they're not overpowered. They're kind of barely got enough power to do what they want to.
Yeah.
So they'll trim things out and they're using pitch to go up. But you don't have to raise the nose to go up, and most people don't realize that, even people that have been in airplanes a lot. If I get enough air flowing over and under a wing, it creates lift.
Oh, yeah.
So the easy, smart, lazy way to go up in a powered hang glider doesn't involve raising the nose. All I do is step on the throttle. Now there's more air going over and under the wing than we need for level flight, and that surplus of air makes us go up. So when I want to go up in this, I just step on the throttle like you go in a car when you want to go faster.
Oh,
Now the wind today and yesterday and the day before and even the day before has come a little bit more south of where it normally comes. That's southeast. And
Ah.
southeast of us is a volcano. So when the wind hits the mountain, it gets pushed up and it makes it into a cloud. But then it tumbles over here like water going over a rock. So it's a little bumpier today here than it is most days, because if the wind was coming from the water is a flat surface. And it can get choppy water, but it won't make the air choppy when the wind flows over it. So it's the
Yeah.
wind direction right now that's making it choppy over here, but it's making it a little bit of a chance that I might be able to get you flown and the girl flown before the trade winds come in. You look way out there, you can see a darker color pretty far out there, that line.
Ah, yeah.
That is really choppy water. If you look carefully, you can even see the white caps. It's blowing
Yeah.
like 25 miles an hour, and I think that's not going to get in here before my next flight. And so
Yeah.
that's good news for her too.
That is good news, yeah.
So we don't have a tail. When your dad's flying an airplane, most aircraft have the vertical fin on the tail,
Yeah.
and that's the rudder. And like a boat has a rudder, most airplanes have rudders, and that allows the aircraft to do a flat axis called yaw.
Yeah.
And we don't have that, so ours is just more lowering the wing to go left, lowering the wing to the right to go right, keeping it level to go straight, and landing into the wind and taking off into the wind because we don't have a rudder.
Ah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and so it's not a big disadvantage to not have a rudder, and it means it eliminates all the parts like you have in an airplane. We don't have elevators, we don't have ailerons, we don't have flaps, we don't have rudders, and all those parts have parts to make them move, so we eliminate all that.
Huh.
Now, just a little bit on the touristy side of Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Look over there. The water on the west side of every Hawaiian island is protected from a wind out of the east by the island.
That's really cool.
Look how flat it is. So
Yeah.
let's say you weren't into surfing, but you really like to swim with dolphins, or you wanted to snorkel, or deep sea fish, or scuba dive, or kayak. The water over there is epic all year round,
Wow.
even when the water over here is going to be a mess in about an hour. All
Wow,
right?
yeah.
And you can see it's got a little bit of chop in here. It's blowing like 15 miles an hour out in here.
Yeah.
But way over there is blowing 25.
Wow, yeah, you're right.
And I'll quit before that comes in because it's just too much work for me to handle this wing in a real strong wind.
Yeah, yeah.
But I want you to know, and I pointed out to your dad, it's a great place for you and your sister and your mom and your dad to go to on another day if you want to do any water activity, even if it's just sunbathing, because the water over there has no waves and no choppiness.
That is great. Yeah.
At the very south end is 3 hotels, and all hotels in Hawaii have to let you use the beaches in front of their hotels. So you can park at the hotel and you can go to the beach there, and it's not crowded like Waikiki because it's not 300 hotels, it's only 3.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and you can actually come to beaches where there's no hotels, there's no services of any kind, there's no bathrooms, there's no showers, there's no drinking water, there's no lifeguard, and there's no people, but there's no waves, so you don't need a lifeguard.
Yeah.
These are my 2 favorite beaches coming into view. The very last one is not quite as calm as the next to last one. That one tucked in there a little bit. It doesn't get waves out of the south or the north very easily. So see how calm it is?
Yeah, that's cool.
That's called Makua Beach, and we're going to give you a card with things that we would do on the west side, but I have to tell you, visitors generally make a big mistake and they never come to the west side.
Huh.
And we're going to get our prettiest pictures out here, and the air isn't too bumpy. Every once in a while I get a little wind up there. We're going to put your hands back up on the controls.
Okay.
And again, we treat this kind of like a steering wheel. We don't bother to pull in or push out even though we can.
Parachute drop zones active.
Because it takes so much muscle and it doesn't get you much. It'll help you go up quicker and down quicker, but we're not really in a hurry. That's why we're in this aircraft to begin with. So I'm going to just pull us over to the left, and then
Okay.
you just keep a nice grip, but just relax and you'll feel it stay in the turn.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're going to go out here and I want to get some sunlight on us for some pictures.
Oh,
So-
awesome.
Yep, so try not to pull the bar in. Let it float where it wants to float this way.
Okay.
Look at the point down there, how pretty that is.
Yeah.
The
That's
tracks you see down there are the remnants of an old train track for the sugar industry and an old dirt road. But
Oh, wow.
you cannot drive around here because the tsunami damaged the road and the train track, and that's why you have to drive up in the southwest corner and then drive back.
Cool. Yeah.
That's not tricky. Look at the water out here.
Oh,
It's going to be
yeah.
that pretty all day long, and out here there'll be white caps.
Wow.
Now, keep a nice grip, pull your right hand towards my face, and then relax. Yep, just like that. Maybe going to put it back just a little bit. I think that's a whale splashing around right there.
Oh, yeah.
I want to do a real gentle turn here so we don't lose any altitude. We're going to come around. We're probably going to go up on that cloud for a couple minutes in a second. It's raining down at the airport right now.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now let's get a little sunlight on you and I. Give me a smile. Give me a Hawaiian shaka with your left hand. That's perfect. Give me a little time to get some pictures. Nice. Then check out the view. That's the whole west coast.
Oh, wow.
Now, it's helpful to understand that the west coast is a desert on every Hawaiian island. Even though it's green right now, it just rained a lot for about 10 days, and grass grows, and it's going to be brown the whole rest of the year.
Huh.
It rains 20 inches a year here because it's too low to push the wind up and make clouds out of the wind. The rain that happens that way is up on the mountains. Up there it rains 200 to 300 inches a year, and here it rains 20.
Wow. That's cool.
Now you can actually see the airport down there, and on the far side is a little rain shower, and that could work to our favor because most people, you might have because you've flown with your dad, but most people have not seen that a rainbow is not an arch. A rainbow from the sky, you see the top and the bottom because it's made by the sun. It's a circle.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that, actually.
Bravo Ski I 45 on.
Dylan Immunicon Paradise 1 is at kind of point 3,200. So the skydiving plane's coming down.
Roger that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just adding power because I want to go up on the edge of this cloud and fly around the top. Now pilots that fly in clouds, they're in a hurry. They're trying to get your Amazon package to you or get you from point A to point B. I do get people that ask me, hey, can we go fly in the clouds? And I always say, if you were on a 4-lane highway and 2 lanes were foggy and 2 lanes were clear, where would you drive? And everybody would drive where it's clear. They wouldn't drive in the fog because you can't see in the fog.
Yeah.
You've probably been in fog before.
Exactly.
So you're not gonna fly into the clouds. I don't have the license or the training to do it,
Ah, yeah.
but I wouldn't want to because then we wouldn't have this view. That's the
Yeah.
whole west coast.
That's beautiful.
The second,
Bravo Ski Base.
the second to last beach, by the way, is my favorite beach
Base wind 070 at 15.
because it's calmer and sandier. And people that are coming up that road, they all